Firstly, I love that you've mentioned the levels of civilization.
Right.
You know, that
Right.
will make the conversation easier, definitely. But you know, based on the sample size we have in terms of human history, based on the knowledge that you personally have, how do you envision the evolution and the development of our society? Like, are you pessimistic? Are you optimistic in terms of what will happen in the future?
So yeah, I mean, as I said, we are a type 0 situation, type 0 civilization right now. We are in baby shoes, but the development of AI is I think the biggest game changer.
Yeah.
That is coming at us, and this is the couple of things. You can look at this from various perspectives. You can look at it from social structure, and the social structure, and you can look at it from existential perspective.
Yeah.
Because we can have the existential perspective when we start asking questions that at one point we achieve, uncanny valley. One point we achieve the place when human intelligent and AI is indistinguishable.
Yeah.
Right? When is AI sentient? Right? Can we even get there?
Yeah.
And if that happens, then how is that sentient being will interact with humans, and then if AI can do everything better than us, then what's our purpose? Then why are we here? Then what's the purpose? Our AI becomes a nanny of like, well, these are precious creatures that I'm gonna just take care of, or becomes an enemy that you are useless and just taking up resources. And we are the new, or I am the evolution, meaning from perspective of AI. Or you can look at it from the industrialist sort of social structure and the and how society is built, right? I mean, we grew up in communism, and we still suffer the remains of that, right? So we have a very, probably you and I have a very similar take on that.
Yeah.
So we understand this, and even though this is a raising thing in the West, they don't understand. We lived it, and
they can't. Yeah.
Kind of warning them like, guys, you don't understand where this is going.
Yeah.
We lived it. This is not a thesis in college.
Yeah.
This was real. People were dying. I lived this shit.
Yeah.
This is not a joke. If you squander your freedom of speech, it's over. It's absolutely over. And once we have this level of surveillance, this level of connectivity and digital surveillance, you will not be able to overturn this after if it's done. Like, we were lucky that 70 years of socialism, communism could be overturned. We couldn't do that today with the level of surveillance, and so we were lucky that we got rid of this in the right time. However, so I just preface it because then you can see, or we can agree probably, that how we have a negative view on communism. Now, interestingly, if you look at AI and what AI and robotization can do, right? So the Marxist way of communism was basically about the working class.
True.
Okay, if robots and AI is doing everything, the working class simply disappear, right? So if because the whole idea of society and why this is structured this way, because it requires human labor, right? So that means it requires your labor, your time, your efforts. You cannot just roam freely. You have to do certain things to survive, and it's society breaks into this machine where you're just a cog in the machine serving the society, and so the idea there was that like the working class would own production and distribution and everything else, and then that's the only class, right? That was the idea, but that's inherently faulty. We experience this, and we know why there are so many. We can go down this rabbit hole of why it doesn't work, but here's an interesting idea. If human labor is no longer necessary because robots doing everything better than we could, right? Then if human labor is not important, then commerce also kind of gonna collapse, because if you're not laboring and working, you have no income to buy the products.
There's no cycle of finance.
So the cycle stops, right? So this capitalist system just has to collapse. It can't survive that way, right? Even if you, and here's the idea too. If you have this insane I can't associate with insane people, so I don't really understand that mindset. But if you have, even if you have this insane idea of like, I want to rule the world, well, how? Because you can rule the world because if you can force people to labor.
Yeah.
But if their labor is not necessary,
Valuable, yeah.
it's not valuable because robots are doing anything. I understand that the financial system is completely unnecessary because it just doesn't work,
Yeah.
right? And why would you hold back resources when it's abundant? Because the robots are making everything, right? So there is a possibility that there would be a communist future.
In the way that
But not a
Marx
Marxist
envisioned.
communism.
Yeah.
A communism where it's a communism because the worker class doesn't exist. So
There's no money in the cycle.
no money, right?
Yeah.
There is, it's useless. So there's a very interesting, fork in the road where we are right now. What's going to happen? How it's going to go? Because this is, as I said, society and how it's structured,
Yeah.
the financial system, the entire infrastructure of industry, everything
Yeah.
on that side, how society operates, and then we have the existential questions that who we are, what we are, is AI or next level evolution? Were we evolving to this point so we can create AI?
Yeah.
And that's the next. And our flesh and bone, biological bodies are no longer necessary. And they say, okay, well, I can upload my mind into, okay, well, what makes you who you are is kind of your, what makes us unique is many times that we're not perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're not perfect. Okay, if AI can perfect you,
Yeah.
then if there's such thing,
Yeah.
if AI can adjust things,
Yeah.
I'm gonna edit the genes,
Yeah.
and we're gonna educate you digitally somehow, and we just put chips in and you know everything, and you kind of become AI. Then wouldn't everything become homogenized? Because then,
Yeah.
because if I delete your unique things, and I delete the ideas that you're wrong about,
Yeah.
right? And I tell you everything that you don't know,
Yeah.
I would have get the same information. Then what makes us different,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely,
So this
yeah.
started to tumble down in existential questions of like, okay, what does it mean to be alive? What is it alive? Not even, I wouldn't even use the word alive. What does it mean to perceive?
True. Yeah.
Because alive don't even matter now,
Yeah.
right? Because it's now we are one layer back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't need my body to think, right? And then I don't need to think to perceive,
Yeah.
right? So the ultimate is going all the way back to the perception, and we can arrive to this point that the only thing I'm aware of that something is happening. That's the only thing that I know, that I am perceiving. That what I'm perceiving, what all this, we can't really verify.